Welcome to today's edition of the 2024 Rome and Floyd County High School Football Preview Show Series. WLAQ Sports sits down with each area head coach to discuss the upcoming season. Here are your hosts, Matt Davis and Ian Griffin.
Hello, football fans, and welcome to the Darlington Tigers Football Preview Show presented by WLAQ Sports. We're glad to be joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Wayne Groves. Coach, thanks for stopping by and talking a little football with us today.
Shoot, yes, getting closer, man. We're through the dead week now, and we're full speed ahead. So, yeah, it's that time of year. It won't be long, and we'll be kicking it off.
Awesome. Well, let's start the show by kind of reflecting on year one as head coach of the Tigers. You posted a winning record. You earned a trip to the playoffs. What were your biggest takeaways from last season?
Well, kind of the biggest thing is, just being a head coach, you don't realize all the little things that are going to happen. I think I spent more time, when we're not on the field on my cell phone than actually working with the kids, setting up, travel and meals and just all the little logistic things that come up as a head coach that maybe as assistant that you don't realize that takes so much of your time. So that's one thing. The next thing is just the transition going to, always coached, 6A, 5A, 7A football, and then going to single A football. And so with a smaller roster size, just navigating that, learning how to practice efficiently to make sure you get good quality reps all the time. That was a little transition as well. So we feel like we got everything in place now at Darlington. The kids know exactly what to expect. They know the expectations. They know how we're going to operate, and we're getting better.
And Coach, as far as, obviously you touched on this a little bit in that first question, but, year one to year two, as far as the summer's been concerned, how have things flowed differently this year for you?
Well, summer-wise, we're with the same plan. We started right after the first dead week in June, and then we bring the kids in at 8:30 in the morning. They get there at 8:15. We still on Tiger time, which is 15 minutes early to everything. So I think we've only had one kid late all summer long, and every other time we've had all the kids present. So that's been really good. 8:30, we're dynamic warm-up. We lift weights for about 45 minutes. Then we have position meetings, 20 minutes offense, 20 minutes defense. We're still filming the practices with drones so we can review the film, show the players what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. We can diagram up what we're installing for the day. And then we go out and we're practicing helmets for about an hour and a half, sometimes an hour and 45, depending on what the practice schedule is. And so we're using that as an opportunity to get better. We're trying to just keep on improving every day.
And so with the run last year, now you've got guys who are comfortable in your system, played in a playoff game, played in some big-time region games. How does that experience help you going into season two?
Well, just being the head coach, the more experience you get, of course, being a coordinator forever, but, just wearing that hat and understanding how you need to operate the flow of the game and when to interject on offense and when to make adjustments on defense. One of the things we found was very difficult was making in-game adjustments. When we coached at Rome, we had a full 11 on offense, 11 on defense. So when they came off, we got some time over on the sideline to make corrections. Now we're making corrections on the fly because we have so many kids playing both ways. So that was a big transition, and it was one that we figured out kind of how to do it a little more efficiently as the year went on, but it was definitely a challenge.
I know you like to utilize technology to your advantage. So is there any technology out there that helps you do that on the fly without the opportunity to have them off the field?
Well, there's a lot of different programs out there, but we use what's called Huddle Sideline. And so Huddle is our film data breakdown system that we use to break down other teams and see tendencies and different things that they show on film, and we use that to game plan. But on Friday night, we're going to get a Huddle Sideline copy of the video. We're going to get an end zone copy of the video. So, and then we have iPads right there on the sideline as well as a TV. So, between series, the clips are already loaded up from the previous series, and if there's something we need to correct, we may go to a kid with that iPad, show, hey, this is what happened right here. This is what we got to make sure we do, and then quick as we can, they're back out on the field and rolling. So we've used those iPads a lot more than we have in the past. Usually we just use the sideline TV, but when we got to coach kids faster and on the run because they're playing both ways, that becomes an asset to us.
Well, Coach, let's go ahead and jump in and talk about some of the kids. I know we're going to talk a little personnel in this part of the show. But I know there's roster turnover that takes place at different levels each year and that sort of thing. But tell us about some of the new guys that have stepped up over the summer, some new names that we'll hear this year.
Okay. First, the returning guys. We have a good amount of returning football players on our team. You know, Sammy Konchesky's back at quarterback. He's going to be there and play some strong safety and outside linebacker. Miles Twyman's back. You know, Miles had about 800 yards rushing, you know, last year, kind of in the number 2 role. And so he's going to be the number 1 guy this year. Noah Duggan is another name you're going to hear. You know, he's going to play some fullback, and he's going to be our Mike linebacker. Trenton Moore is going to start at backer just like he did last year. Sam linebacker, going to play tight end. Stephen Moore is going to be our center, play some guard, O-line, D-line. Henry Ledbetter's back. You know, he was all-region sophomore defensive end, and he's playing some tight end and a little backup quarterback as well. So you got a bunch of guys that have seen some really significant snaps that we feel real good about. New guys that you might hear, some guys that'll come onto the scene that contributed a little bit last year, but maybe they weren't the main guy. But our track team was really, really good in the spring. You know, we won the state, and a lot of these guys, like I say, Brooke Temple's going to be a kid that you're going to hear his name a lot. You know, Brooke ran a 22-1 200 and won the region. He's going to be a sophomore. He was a freshman last year, so Brooke's going to be a great little corner, and then he's going to play some running back and slot as well. Jace Donaldson, another 3-sport athlete. He's going to contribute on the basketball court, but really good track season, really good off season, getting stronger and faster, and so he's going to contribute there in the secondary and play some running back and slot. So we're looking forward to those guys. You know, Bodie Powers may be a guy that he made a real impact on special teams last year and at his safety and maybe some running back that can really help contribute. The last kid is a kid I got out of the hallway, and he's really been a bright surprise is Bryson Jones. He's kind of a short, stocky, fire plug kid, bench pressed 325 pounds the other day, and he's playing O-line and D-line. And so I think he's going to be a force, and he'll be a name that stands out once the season gets rolling.
Well, heck yeah, that leads us to our first break. We appreciate everybody watching the Darlington Tigers preview presented by WLAQ Sports. Make sure to like and subscribe. We'll be back with Coach Groves after this message.
Riverside Auto Group is celebrating 50 years in Rome and Northwest Georgia. Join the celebration and shop for your next car, truck, or SUV from Riverside Auto Group. Browse their selection online at riversideautogroup.com or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, or Riverside GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group.
All right, we are back with Coach Wayne Groves talking a little Darlington Tigers football, and we want to jump into your summer program. Obviously, it's hot out there, and there are rules and regulations to keep the kids safe. Tell us, I know you touched on it a little bit in the first segment, but talk to us about your process and what you guys are working on to get ready for the season.
Well, we're still going to continue to try to get stronger in the weight room is one. You know, we're going to get stronger, we're going to get faster, we're still trying to get bigger. We're taking care of the kids when it comes to obviously the heat and all that. So we try to go early in the morning. You know, I like for them to be able to after lunch be done. If they want to go to the pool, they can go to the pool. If they want to get a job, they can get a job. If they want to do an internship, they can do that. So have them out of there by lunch. But so far we've been really good with the wet bulb. I think we got kind of close today to maybe having to modify some things. We checked the wet bulb, and I think it was around mid-80s when we first got started today, and then kind of got a little bit hotter after that. But, we're going to always emphasize nutrition. We're going to emphasize hydration, and obviously rest and recovery when it comes to taking care of our athletes. So our guys have done a really good job. You know, you're always going to have one or two at the beginning of the summer that are going to get lightheaded and maybe need a little extra break. But as they get accustomed to the heat, and we've had really good attendance, today, even after a week off, we breezed right through a good practice and didn't really get phased that much. So I was really happy where we are conditioning-wise.
Well, Coach, one big change that is happening going into this year, or has already happened, and getting ready for that, is going to be reclassification, new look region. playoff format's going to be different. So for the fans that haven't, learned about this yet, tell us a little bit about that and how it works.
All right. So basically from single A to triple A, all the public and private schools are going to be together in the regions. And so they're going to play all those games out just like you normally would. When the playoffs hit, there's going to be a separation between single A to triple A private schools. They'll go in one playoff mode and one playoff bracket based on a power ranking, which will be a little bit different, I guess. So it's kind of, it would be similar to the basketball power index is basically what you get. And there's all kinds of little details we go into with that. But, you get a little more points for away wins. Your neutral games are a little normal, and then you get a little less for home wins. So, we couldn't really worry about that when it comes to scheduling. They really had that power index came out after everybody had the schedules done. So it just comes down to, you got to worry about the things you control when it comes to that. And we just got to go practice every day, get better, and you got to win. So winning solves all the problems when it comes to power rankings. Now, the public schools, when the playoffs hit, they'll still have a single A, a double A, and a triple A format, just like you've seen.
Okay.
So the seedings will be a little bit different. Region champions will be guaranteed to be in that 32-team playoff for single A. A number 2 team will be guaranteed to be in there. Number 3 and number 4 is where the power index is going to come, is the at-large teams.
Okay.
So anybody that's not that top 4 or fit into there, it'll go to that power ranking, and they'll seed teams after that. So, if you're one or two in your region, you're guaranteed a spot. It could be 3 or 4. You could be looking at, squeaking in there in the back door through a power ranking.
Well, on that note, tell us a little bit about the teams that you'll face in your schedule and region play in particular, if you don't mind.
Okay, well, region play, me and, Coach Honeycutt from Model been talking about, being Highway 27. And that's basically what the region is. You go Model, Pepperell, Haralson County, Temple, Bremen, and Hurd, and it's a really competitive region. It's a lot more competitive, I'd say, than it was last year. I don't know if there's one team that kind of sticks out above everybody. There's a lot of good football teams, a lot of teams that have played a lot of playoff football, and a lot of good coaches. So I have all the respect in the world for the teams that we're going to play, and it's going to be definitely fun for the fans. Probably not so much fun for the coaches, just because of the parity in the league. But it definitely has got some natural rivalries in there, some storied Northwest Georgia rivalries with Darlington getting obviously Model and Pepperell, and Bremen has always been a really good ball game. So we're really excited about that.
It gives guys like Ian and myself here a lot to talk about, huh? On these shows that we do and everything. But looking forward to that. It's going to be a tremendous amount of fun. Ian, I know you wanted to talk a little bit about some X's and O's.
Yeah, I wanted to dive into that. Obviously, you've got a lot of guys that are returning at the skill positions, but wanted to see how you're tailoring your system based on the personnel you have. With that said, what can fans expect? And we can break it down into 3: offense, defense, and special teams.
Okay. Well, offense, we're going to be a spread option offense. So we're still going to put a high emphasis on running the football, but we're still going to be able to sling the ball around when we need to, kind of run it when you have to, throw it when you want to. That's kind of the philosophy we've taken. And the kids have done a really good job with the offense so far. We started, doing some things, before school and during some eye periods and stuff, during the school year. So summer and install's been great. The kids have picked it up. And they're doing a really good job with it. So we're going to make folks defend the whole field. They're going to have to defend the 4 vertical passing game. They're going to have to learn to play option football. And so we're still going to spread it out. But we're going to make folks have to really work. So excited about that. Okay. On defense, I'm going to do my stuff I've done for a while. We're going to be multiple. We're going to show odd and even fronts. We're going to be multiple in the secondary. We're going to play cover 0, 2, 3, 4. We're going to fire zone. We're going to rotate coverages. We're going to blitz, and we're just going to try to give folks different looks all the time and just keep them guessing. And let our little Tigers run and be fast, and see if we can get after folks.
I wonder how they're going to react to that when they watch this. I like it. That's good stuff, man. We got Coach Groves with us. This is the 2024 Darlington Tigers football preview show here on the WLAQ YouTube channel. Make sure that you hit like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and help us get these out to the public. We want people to watch and add more local content like this. It's good stuff. Well, let's go ahead and take another break. We'll come back. We've got one more segment with the coach, And we will return after these messages. Glad to have you with us.
Riverside Auto Group is celebrating 50 years in Rome and Northwest Georgia. Join the celebration and shop for your next car, truck, or SUV from Riverside Auto Group. Browse their selection online at riversideautogroup.com or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, or Riverside GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group.
All right, we are back with Coach Wayne Groves, the Darlington Tigers. And, Coach, one final aspect we wanted to touch on. We talked offense, we talked defense. Give us a rundown on special teams. I know that's just as important as the other two.
Yep, you never realize how important special teams are till you have a special teams mistake, and then it really exposes you. You know, I've always been the philosophy is we're going to put our best players on special teams. And, you know, we're going to try to make a difference in the ball game, and the kids believe in that. So, you know, we don't put the Booster Club president's kid on the kickoff or anything. We're going to make sure we put guys out there that are going to take advantage of those plays. And so our philosophy on special teams is we want to set up a score or we want to score on special teams. So we're going to be solid. You know, we're working on special teams right now. We punt, we kick, we snap every single day in our practices. So snappers, you know, we got Stephen Moore and Miles Twyman are doing a really good job of snapping. So that's a luxury there. Kickers, got a young kicker, Spencer Baker, who will be a freshman that you know, he can kick them from 40 plus. We have Ade Desalu coming back, so he'll be kind of the starter there. And Ade's gotten really strong in the weight room. He got his squat up to about 335 pounds. He bench pressed 225, which kickers don't normally do. So I tell him he's about the strongest kicker in the state, I'd imagine. But I think Ade's going to be able to put the ball in the end zone and be able to kick field goals from 45 plus. Punting wise, Trenton Moore's going to take over the punting roles. He was kind of a backup last year and punted in a few ball games. So we feel really solid there with those guys, you know, being able to snap, punt, and kick, and we'll get all the protections and blocking and all that stuff right as well. But we feel really good about where we are special teams-wise right now.
Coach, in our first segment of the program, we talked a little bit about your approach to the summer, how it was different this year, things of that nature. As far as your approach to, you know, setting goals and expectations and things of that nature, I'm not necessarily asking for your goals and expectations, but how do you approach that? Do you have any mantras or themes that you talk about with the kids as you get them prepared for the season?
Yeah, we go under the philosophy is and we say it every day. We just want to get 1% better. 1% better. And I tell the kids that means, you know, if you messed up a coverage yesterday, you fix it the next day. Or if you missed a block yesterday, the next day you fix it. And so that's what we do. If we tried to write a book on what it took to win a state championship or win a region championship, it would be 1,000 things long. So we just try to simplify it into let's just be the best person we can be today. Let's be the best position player we can be today. Let's give the best effort we can today, and let's get that 1% better. And if we do that and we stack those, you know, 30 summer OTAs on top of each other, then we'll be way better than we were at the end of spring practice. So that's kind of what the motto we go is we just 1% better each day.
I like that. That's good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. One last question for you, Coach. Look, we wait for it all year. It gets here, and then the season's over before we know it. What are you looking most forward to about getting back on the sidelines under the bright lights on Friday nights?
Well, I tell you what I really enjoy is just being back around the boys. And we've kind of go, but this team right here, you know, each team's different. And this team is so much fun to coach. They're just hungry. They just want to do well. They do everything we ask us to do, and they're doing it wide open. And so just being able to eventually just cut it loose. And, you know, right now we're coaching the fool out of them. But, you know, come August 2nd and August 16th, we're going to cut them loose and we're going to let them do their thing. And so just being able to let that happen and kind of sit back and watch them get things done is what I'm looking forward to the most.
All right, man. I do want to throw in one more question since we have a couple of moments here. But obviously, as we tape this, You've just gotten back from the beach, dead week, all that kind of stuff. And I know that's an interesting time for coaches because it's really the last opportunity that you have any kind of a break until the season's over. Isn't that correct?
That's right. That's right.
So how was your beach trip, and what was on the Coach Groves playlist this year? We had to ask those kind of questions. We can't resist.
All right, well, the beach trip was great. We went down on to Panama City on Friday, and then we came back last Saturday. So we got a full eight days in. My family's down there. Jess's family. We've been vacationing with some other folks that we've been friends with for a long time. So their families were all there, and then we just try to let Grayson have as much fun on the beach as she possibly can. One cool thing. I love pirates. Jolly Roger. We've talked about that.
Mike Leach and the whole thing.
Black Flag. All that. So on July 1st, we got to take Grayson on the pirate ship ride and adventure. So that was pretty cool. And me and Grayson both got sworn in as pirates. So we are official Panama City Pirates. And we're going to use that obviously as a motivational tool going into the season. So we had that on the playlist. My playlist is you're going to get the 80s stuff. You're always going to have Guns N' Roses and Aerosmith and those kind of things. And then we like country music too. So
Gotcha, man. Well, good deal. Well, this has been a tremendous amount of fun having the opportunity to catch up with Coach Wayne Groves and get a little preview of the 2024 Darlington Tigers. It's hard to believe, but it is almost here again. And I know you guys are working hard, and we just want to take this opportunity to thank you for your time, Coach, and also wish you and the Tigers the best of luck coming up this season.
Thank you. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be great.
All right, that's going to put a wrap on the Darlington Tigers preview show here on WLAQ. We appreciate you watching on our YouTube channel, learning about the Darlington Tigers. Make sure to like and subscribe. We appreciate that. And again, just thank you again for watching. And that is it. Thanks again, Coach. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Hope you enjoyed this edition of the 2024 Rome and Floyd County High School football preview shows presented by WLAQ Sports. Make sure you hit like and subscribe to our channel for more local content from the WLAQ Radio YouTube channel.